Now, the treatment for HIV can be a debilitating process, one that requires quick as well as
Has the potential to actually reduce the risk of deaths from COVID.
In this era of internet, we are bombarded with news and information every second. Staying up to date is nearly impossible. Anyone can put up information on the web.
And you have now the terminology called fake news, which previously we never thought was possible.
Stop for a moment. Think about doctors and other health professionals. This is their overload. They need relevant literature and then have to figure out which is the best of research and evidence. They have crazy schedules.
Just the doctor-patient ratio is crazy.
How do they stay updated?
The new information is coming in leaps and bounds.
They not only have to absorb everything new, they have to seriously think about how it could impact patient care. And let's admit, all of us want the latest, which is the best.
We call ourselves practicing pediatricians or practicing doctors, and so we practice medicine. We never learn medicine completely. So we like to keep ourselves updated.
It's integral to our ability to be good doctors, and so that's just something we should know.
People who are actually making careers in medicine or public health and doing any kind of research, literature search is very important to take it very seriously and very systematically.
Readers all over the world are looking for evidence-based journals, evidence-based data where they can actually quote your article and say that this person, this article, this date. So I think this is very important for all of us to know.
Let us look at the problems in staying updated.
How do you stay abreast of new developments if you do not know how to access the articles that have been recently published? Our textbooks are typically 5 years out of date. So that needs to be done. Otherwise you become fossilized, and then you don't know what's going on in your own field, and conferences and lectures are not enough.
When everything seems to be on the internet. So what is Google giving you? A huge number of results, and you could get really lost.
So I used to be the editor-in-chief of the Indian Journal of Radiology and Imaging for 6 years. And there I think one of the biggest learnings was just this, that people don't understand how to search for literature. Very often we get articles where the last relevant reference was about 5 or 10 years ago, because people had just copied it from another similar article and not bothered to check what had happened in the interim. And then when we sometimes spoke to the authors or met them outside in a conference, etc., they just say, we don't know how to do it.
No one can do a research without any kind of surrounding knowledge, and these sites like these PubMed and the databases provide you with too much knowledge. So you kind of tend to get confused also कि कौन से article से लेना है, because there are so millions and millions of articles and papers. So it's very scary that way also कि अरे बाप रे, there is too much of information. Like initially there is no information at all, and then there is a bombardment of information on these sites. You have to perfectly identify what exactly you want from too much of information.
Everything available at the click of a mouse button. We still find that most doctors, researchers, medical students just don't understand how to look at the data and the literature out there.
Just because everybody had access to the internet, access to PubMed, etc., it did not make them automatically learn by themselves and do well. Ironically, these techniques are not really taught in the curriculum.
Nobody tells you this is how you should do a literature search. There's no mentor, there's no guide. And so that is the current situation.
It's a system-based problem, because the decision makers who need to ask for such training to be available themselves are not aware of the structured methods. As a result, we are dealing with a they don't know what they don't know syndrome. How does one solve this problem? Now, every health professional has to search online all the time. searching online does not mean just Googling, going through first 2 pages, or learning through some tips and tricks videos, shortcuts. No, that's not it.
We have to be able to access the literature. We have to know how to search properly for the information that we want, and that is a learning by itself. We have to know how to do it so that we are able to do it properly. Nobody tells you this is how you should do a literature search. There's no mentor, there's no guide. And so that is the current situation.
This is where Qmed Knowledge Foundation comes in.
So Ms. Sri Ganesh has expertise in medical liaisonship, medical information retrieval, organization and provision of medical information.
So when I had hard-hitting proof that people were not learning it and wasting enough time, I decided that this has to be our major focus and went full-fledged into teaching. If taught, they would save them huge amounts of time and would automatically result in the right research being done. Through our workshops, we were always asked, do you have this in an e-learning format or do you have it online? It took us quite some time to plan and put the courses online. Interestingly, after doing that, people say we'd also want to attend a workshop. So today we try and offer blended learning.
Hi, I'm Swati and I attended the workshop which was conducted in LHMC, research methodology, and whatever I learned, it has become eye-opening because I've already wasted so much time on PubMed. Thank you so much, ma'am.
So this workshop was indeed a boon in disguise. I was expecting that I would benefit a lot, but this amount of help, I mean, I never thought it would be this good, so I'm really very happy. A session is very important and it should be conducted every year.
In the workshop that she'd conducted, she ensured that everything is taught in a step-by-step manner, in great detail, and every participant who attended the workshop had understood everything clearly. She had a lot of patience to clear all our doubts. There has been so many instances wherein I have reduced the number of articles like from around 3000 to just a 50 or so, just by using the right filters and creating the right search builder. It's going to make your work 100 times easier.
Every single time that I put a mesh word which I never knew what it meant earlier, I still remember Qmed and I remember Vasant.
Like she teaches very to the point, and it's very easy to grasp. She describes it or teaches it in a very simple way.
After doing this course, I become so confident that I'm now able to do my own literature search, and I'm very confident on whatever I'm looking for and whatever I'm doing in my own research. This course is actually very comprehensive, very easy to understand, and very technical, very systematic course that you will be able to understand how to proceed in your literature search. After completing this course, I approached Dr. Vasu to help me out with a particular search strategy. She is so approachable, and she has helped me to develop my own search strategy and gave me a hands-on practice for that.
Dr. Abhishek Royal learnt the complex steps of literature searching to author a systematic review.
I think Qmed plays a very, very pivotal role in helping the medical professionals find the right and objective data. So here is, I'm going to highly recommend that the Qmed training videos, the Qmed training methodologies really upheld by the medical community in terms of how to help medical professionals.
In the 15 years of lectures, workshops, and e-learning courses, the most common feedback we've had from every participant is, "I wish I had learnt it earlier." And trust me, even some undergraduates have used this very words as feedback. If even UG students say, "I wish I had learnt it earlier," it is high time we introduce this in their curriculum.
So the best way to inculcate this knowledge is to have it as part of the medical curriculum.
I would highly recommend that the literature searching methodologies be introduced in medical curriculum, because that's very important to them.
Now I know that there's a lot that is expected of medical students and a lot that people want to put into teaching, including things like empathy, sympathy, compassion, how to talk to patients, financial awareness, and all of that, and it is important. So apart from our core subjects, there are all of these other things which we were never taught. I was never taught how to talk to a patient. I was never taught how to manage the money that I'm making. All of this we had to learn on our own outside, and that's the same thing with understanding research, searching for articles, managing managing how to stay abreast. All of that we had to learn on our own.
The curriculum for MBBS mentions it clearly that every student must know how to search online and appraise the literature. So based on what we noticed with undergraduates, we feel that they should do it during the UG days. Some of them have mentioned that they are able to learn it very quickly because they are not saddled with responsibilities of patient care, administration, etc. in the UG time when it's really study time. And we ourselves have observed that they have learned things very, very quickly. Some of them come back with very sharp questions as well. And the courses we've designed, e-learning, which they can do at their own pace, will take somewhere between 10 to 12 hours or a little more. And they could do it little by little during the 4 years of undergraduation. In fact, they could do it many times, repeating it till they are very, very thorough.
That perhaps would be good enough to set the background and give some basic understanding, and then all the medical students are smart. They will build on that. If they need more information, they can reach out to people like Vasumati or trusts like Qmed.
We want to recommend that there must be emphasis on this training in the undergraduate days, just like it is in the developed nations where they begin this right from the first year of their medical school. The impact, long-term impact that we visualize out of all the work that we are doing. The first and most obvious is there will be a huge national time saving. Just imagine that many doctors, nurses, physiotherapists, everybody saving even X amount of time, just multiplied by the whole mass. That's a massive national time saving. Second is that they're obviously going to do better research because they're going to base it on the right literature that they find. The third is they're obviously going to then generate Indian evidence and the basis for Indian evidence. I've had many doctors and other professionals telling me that, we always have to base our work on Western generated evidence, and we have so many differences here. It is high time we had strong Indian based evidence. The more we publish, the more Indian evidence we can generate. And of course, if we can publish high level, high impact papers, we rise in the eyes of the world. When we set up Qmed Foundation, at an inaugural function that we had, I made a statement we aim to become redundant. I know it's 15 years now, but we really want to become redundant, and for that we need those excellent librarians in every institution. We need the professionals and the decision makers to be aware that literature searching, referencing skills have to be integral in every medical graduate and health professionals' curriculum as well as training. When this happens, maybe we go to higher levels of consulting or whatever else it takes to do something really good for the country. It is Qmed's dream that their courses become a part of the learning in every medical and health science institution.